India in details.
Looking at this picture, it seems that many Pakistanis are flying high or feeling overconfident, but their country is, once again, being mocked on the global stage. But here is the thing. China couldn't properly save Pakistan from the Indian bashing. Turkey couldn't save Pakistan. Azerbaijan couldn't save Pakistan. The USA couldn't save Pakistan. If all of these couldn't save Pakistan from the Indian bashing, how can Saudi Arabia save Pakistan now? After receiving a well-deserved punishment from India during Operation Sindoor for sponsoring anti-India terrorism, Pakistan, of course, felt humiliated. Very humiliated. Yes, it may sound a bit strange to you, but Pakistan, a country often seen as a terror sponsor, has now joined hands with Saudi Arabia. Together, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan have come up with something that is termed a Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement. As explained here, the agreement states that any aggression against either country shall be considered an aggression against both. To start with, the very fact that Pakistan is entering into something like this clearly shows that it has realized it cannot defend itself against India on its own. Yes, it seems that Pakistan has made it clear that in order to protect its terror infrastructure, to protect itself, it now officially needs outside help. That alone must be a source of great embarrassment for Pakistan, especially since it brags about being a super strong military power. But anyway, let's see how Pakistani media, Western media, military experts and others are reacting to all this. Also in the video, we will explore questions like 1. If Saudi Arabia strikes India, does India have the capability to launch a counter-strike against Saudi Arabia? 2. Can Israel strike Pakistan or use the bomb against it if things escalate to that level? 3. Many are also speculating if the USA is quietly supporting this so-called anti-India alliance. Some are even speculating whether it is Trump's new card to corner or blackmail India. 4. Can India defend itself successfully against the combination of Saudi Arabia and Pakistan? 5. We know that the USA wants to contain China's rise through the Quad, right? So will the so-called Islamic NATO be built gradually and strategically, not just to counter Israel, but also to contain India's rise? Before I explore all these questions and reactions from around the world, let's start with Pakistani media first. As expected, Pakistani media is calling this development historic. An article in a well-known Pakistani newspaper explains that, for Pakistan, the agreement offers both strategic and economic benefits. Focus on these words. Vital Saudi investment and funding, of course, to rescue Pakistan from its financial crisis. And for Saudi Arabia, well, as explained, it strengthens defenses against threats from Iran, Houthi militias, and regional turbulence. And of course, it also seems like a message to Israel as well. As expected, India has officially responded to this development. No doubt, India is going to study the implications of this development. Western media and journalists are taking a keen interest as well. And yes, Pakistan is being mocked. Take, for example, journalist Paul Antonopoulos, whose articles regularly appear in Greek City Times. See how he is mocking Pakistan. Only Pakistanis are capable of going to countries with a begging bowl, receive a few coins, and interpret it as creating a strategic partnership. Here is another one. Saudi Arabia can't even handle the Houthis, but they are gonna go and defend Pakistan? According to Mir Yar Baluch, a Baluch representative, Gulf states must not empower a terror-sponsoring country like Pakistan by falling into a so-called defense web. The Israeli media sees things pretty clearly. As explained in this article on the Times of Israel, this move is seen as a signal to Israel in wake of attempt to assassinate Hamas leaders in Qatar, which caused jitters throughout the Arab world. Now let's explore the questions one by one. Here is the first one. Well, it can be said that yes, India can counter-strike and has the capability to defend itself against any misadventure by Saudi Arabia or Pakistan. 2. It can also be said that if Pakistan becomes involved in conflicts against Israel in a way that crosses the so-called threshold, Israel will not hesitate to strike Pakistan. We have all seen how Israel deals with its enemies. 3. Yes, a weaker, troubled India surrounded by enemies could be of interest to the USA, as some believe it is only a matter of time before the USA begins to treat India in the same way it treats China in multiple ways. Many believe the USA wants to remain the world's sole superpower. The USA doesn't just seem jealous of China, it could also become very jealous of India in the future. Regarding a possible combination of Pakistan and Saudi Arabia against India in a war, many on the Indian side believe that India could defeat both on its own. Given India's growing military strength and economy, that does not sound surprising. And the so-called Islamic NATO? Well, only time will tell, but for now, one can say this. If India can take on Azerbaijan, Turkey, China and Pakistan together, it can certainly handle Saudi Arabia in the mix as well, even if the involvement this time could be more direct. But, without knowing the exact wording of the agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, it is difficult to predict how this will play out. Much remains speculative and inconclusive, but my initial observation is that India will not tolerate any terrorist attack or misadventure and will deliver a befitting response to Pakistan, whether it acts alone or with an ally. That said, the move by Pakistan and Saudi Arabia can clearly be seen as a political message. So can Pakistan again sponsor terrorism against India and get away with it? The answer is no, unless India's strategy changes. Any future high-profile terror attacks linked to Pakistan would likely trigger a strike. Pakistan's alignment with Saudi Arabia could complicate India's calculations, but it is unlikely to stop India from responding against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. See you again.